Well, here's another rant video for you. Basically, I'm just a little pissed off at the whole situation because, people, they waste their time with a lot of things that could be used for the benefit of all humanity instead of just themselves. Like, I understand that people are greedy people. And I understand that a lot of the time people only think, about the present and their own families and their own well-being and that kind of thing. The fact of the matter is, though, that if we want a world where everybody is treated equally and everybody has a chance, and if we want a world where, we could, one day, I don't know, travel to the stars maybe, the real way, live in a world where, like take the movie Elysium, you can lay on a bed and, technology could heal what ails you. Those things are within our grasp. We have the capabilities to do those things. Unfortunately, though, we put our efforts into things like warfare or sticking our noses into the business of other countries that really realistically doesn't concern us. Like, I understand that we want to be helpful. We want to be, help other people that are hurting around the world. But I mean, how can you help other people when you can't even help the ones that you have on your own soil? You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry about this. It's my only bad habit I have left. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So, I mean, it's the only thing I have left as a vice. I'm even trying to quit that, actually. It's only the third one I've had today. Basically, what I'm getting at, though, is, people, as a humanity as a whole, we need to kind of get together and start working together towards things in our own country first. We need to rebuild our economy. We need to rebuild our medical system. We need to rebuild our politicians, for crying out loud. Most of our politicians, you can't trust them as far as you throw them anyways. And I'm referring to Canada, because that's the country that I live in. Like we have a lot of great things here too as well. And I'll admit that fact totally. And I'm not a saint. I'm not trying to preach to the choir. I'm not trying to preach in general because, I mean, I've never had, I grew up, with a mother who didn't want to work, and, I did the whole child welfare thing, and as a kid myself, had my brother and my sister taken away. I went and, I had, we got them back later on, but, like things like that, like living with guys who were either abusive or, didn't want to really work either, or them and my mother would be constantly at each other's throats, and I mean screaming and yelling, fighting, stuff like that. So I mean, my point is I've been there, and I know what people go through. Drugs when you're older, alcohol when you're older, doing stupid shit as a teenager, getting in trouble with the cops, which I have many, many times as a child, as a young offender, teenager, just because of just being plain and simple stupid. It's things like that I understand where people are coming from, but people also need to understand too that kind of thing going on when you're an adult is not helping the situation of the world any at all. We need to have open and honest governments that are willing to, allow and expand on technology that helps people rather than makes them lazier or makes them more subjugated or makes them more, obedient, I guess is the word, or more like some people use the word sheeple, I guess. And you can't tell me that they don't. I mean, if you look at it, look what they're trying to do now. Facebook and everything else, they're trying to censor what everybody says. So I can't sit there and say I fucking hate the fact that they're bringing immigrants into the country to take jobs from people that don't have any, that are from this country. Because apparently that would be considered a crime. That's total horseshit. Why, as a people, would we even allow them to do that in the first place? We shouldn't even allow them to even consider doing something like that. But we do. And why is it that you do that? I don't get it. Like in Canada, we're supposed to have free speech. Half of what we have, half of what people say now, you can be charged with. especially if it's directed against, a minority or something. Which again is horseshit. So you're saying that nobody is entitled to their opinion? Everybody has to like everybody else? I guarantee you there's people out there that don't like me. I guarantee you there's people out there that I hate their guts too. You can't force everybody to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and get along. It's not going to happen, ever. It's never happened in history, and it will never, ever, ever happen. The same as, I got like another little beef too that I'm going to pick real quick. Canada's home defense policies. In Canada, basically how it works is, well, or at least what the cops always tell me is, you're only allowed to use as much force as what is reasonably considered necessary to subdue the guy. Okay, so who's the one who gets to determine that? You, the criminal, the judge? No, it's the judge. Because if you hurt that criminal, and the cops think that it's a little too much, your ass is going to be dragged to court too, and that criminal will charge you just as easily as you can charge him. And I'm quite sure that a lot of you are aware of that. That law definitely needs to change. Because as far as I'm concerned, if a fucking criminal breaks into my house, I don't care whether it's a bat, I don't care if it's a knife, I don't care if it's my 120-pound, black lab that likes to rip people new assholes, that'll go and rip him a new asshole. And he won't get 5 feet back outside that fucking door, and I'll make sure of it. That's the thing of it. People need to understand. When a criminal, they're the criminal, not you. The regular person is not the criminal. So why in the hell should you be charged for protecting your family, your home, or anything else for that matter? I don't care if the criminal's 15 or 50. If they have the cojones to come into your house, you have every right to do whatever the fuck you want to that person, as far as I'm concerned. But in this country, you're not allowed. Because as soon as you do go to court, you got a big panel of a jury and a judge sitting there in front of you, and they're the ones that are going to determine whether you use too much force. Now, what I got to say about that is, who in the fuck are you to sit there and tell me how much force to use on somebody in my own home? Were you there? Were you in the situation? Did you know what happened? Did you experience it? No, you didn't. So where do you get off, or anybody else for that matter, to tell you how much force to use to protect yourself, your family, and your home? Same as if you get a guy, like in my position, if you guys watched the last of this video, you'd know that. I'm on dialysis. I got a tube hanging out of my neck, as you can see kind of here, and one out of my stomach. I can't take a hit physically. So what am I supposed to do? Go run and hide in the closet while the criminal rapes my wife, or robs my house, or fucking kills my dog, or, beats the shit out of my kid? No. I got to grab the first thing that will do the damage necessary and either knock the son of a bitch out or kill him. One of the two. I don't have those kind of options to sit there and get into a fucking full-out fist fight with somebody like most other people that don't have that issue. But they don't take that into consideration either, because according to them, that's unreasonable force. So, you people tell me, whether I'm in the wrong or not. Post your comments, whatever you got to say, that's fine and dandy. Share the video, that'd be great too, because the more the word gets out about, some of these things that I think that the government needs to change, maybe, just maybe, it'll clue into a few of them down there. It's like, I had a cop once tell me that, and I'll give you 2 examples actually. One was a female cop, I'm not going to mention any names. She told me to my face that it would be great if women were allowed to pack a small caliber firearm for self-defense at night. And do you know why that is? Because you got too many fucking retards running around, robbing women, raping women, etc., etc., etc. And women being smaller, not saying that they're weak or anything, so don't take that as a feminist bullshit, because I'd like to pack a sidearm too. But because of their size and stature, it would be better for them to be able to protect themselves against a larger enemy. But of course, in Canada, we're not allowed to do that. So, I mean, you know, then I had another officer come up to me and actually sit there and tell me, well, nobody deserves to die for breaking into your house and stealing your shit. No? What if they, what would they do in almost any other country in the world except Canada? I think for us, I think for the cop, not necessarily the cops, maybe even, but the judge and the courts, I think it's a fucking, that's another conspiracy there too. They lock people up in order for them to make money because they make money off these people being in jail. And your tax dollars go to pay for it. So they would rather you not kill the guy so that way they can throw him in jail and make money off his ass. Just like they do with sick people, like I said before. They'd rather keep us fucking sick instead of actually allowing the cures to come out, which we all know. Every sick person out there knows if they've done the research. They know that they have the capability of doing it, but they won't because they would lose too much fucking money. Anyways, that's what it sounds like to me. So I don't know what you guys all think, but you know, people, if you want to have a society where everybody kind of gets along and everybody's equal, well, then the first step would be to make sure that everybody has health care. Everybody has a job. Everybody has a place to live. Everybody has a way to feed themselves and their families. And I don't mean by welfare either. You know what I mean? The government needs to get off their ass and stop allowing other people to come in and take our fucking jobs and shit from us. Not saying they can't come in later. But the ones that are already here, fine and dandy, good enough. But that's enough. How about no more? Leave us alone. Let us build our economy with what we have first. Let the rest of us get jobs and get working before you start fucking bringing more people in. But I guarantee you they ain't gonna listen to that one neither. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want, whether we want them to or not, anyway. But of course, that's why everybody elects them too. It's like with Trudeau. I mean, everybody knows that too. The only reason fucking Trudeau got elected, and I hope he hears this one as well. The only reason he got elected is, for one, because people liked his hair. For two, because of his last name. For three, because he wanted to legalize marijuana. And for four, because of his daddy's last name. Those are the only four reasons why he got in. Oh, sorry, and there's one more. Because nobody wanted Harper back in either. And that was the big one. So they had to choose either between the NDP or the Liberals. So what do you think they're going to choose? And it wasn't going to be the NDP. So really, in reality, the only reason he's even in power is because he was the only choice left. So I'll end my video there, but you guys can leave as many postings and images as you want, and we're still open for donations to help get a vehicle to go to dialysis appointments if anybody's willing to help. I hope to get some good comments and reply to them later. Thank you. Bye.